Hello and welcome to another episode of Nolo Time. My name is Sobet Velez, and with me, it's the most interesting man in the world, Joel Young.
What's good, Nolo time? Oh, better. You ready for a slapping episode?
Bro, okay, like right off the bat, dude, because I was going to ask you later, now, but now that you bring it up, because we got tons of stuff to talk about today,
We got much to go through.
dude, like, I guess we got to talk about this, right? Because everyone's talking about it.
It's funny. You would go to places like gaming, like news, web. It didn't matter where it was.
No,
Everyone was talking about it.
the memes are out of control, bro.
Yeah.
This is like meme of the decade. Like it's done. No, we'll talk about it. We'll come around to it.
Okay.
How are
Okay.
you, dude? How's it going?
Well, I'm personally doing great, my friend. It's good to always see you. Good to be here for another episode, man. I know it's been a long, busy week. Good to be back on our normal schedule. Last week we had our episode on a Friday, and
Yeah,
today doing it on a Thursday. But no, looking forward to all the main topics. I mean, gosh, we've got a lot of big things to talk about.
yeah,
Obi-Wan delayed, E3, Zelda. I mean, you name it.
yeah. Uh, I haven't done much myself, honestly.
Yeah.
Again, I watched Encanto. It was pretty good.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I enjoyed
I've
it.
seen that one.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Enjoyed it
We
pretty
don't talk
well.
about Bruno.
Okay. Well, here's the thing, right? Because ultimately, the movie isn't about magic. The movie's about how the movie is about how boomers put this pressure on us on how to be,
Pretty much. Yeah.
stuff that we don't want to be or we don't necessarily have to be. That's basically the crux of the movie. So
Grandma's the villain, dude.
I really liked it. I really liked it because it's like, yeah, stick it to the man. It was good. I
At
enjoyed
least
it.
she comes around in the end, but I was like,
Yeah.
geez, this is harsh.
I know it is, yeah, yeah. It's pretty rough.
Yeah.
It's like grandma, oh, abuela,
Yeah.
oh,
Abuela.
abuela, holy crap, yeah, man. It was pretty enjoyable. Other than that, I've been same thing playing Horizon, but it's been good. Like I said, we got tons to talk about, so I guess we should you know jump right in. We don't have any evergreen content for this episode, I guess, since we're going
This is a very relevant news today kind of
correct.
episode.
Yeah, yeah. 331. Happy April's Fool's Day Eve, I guess.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about the slap, Joe. I want to get
Yeah.
because it's something, right? The Academy Wars happen, and blah blah, and you know we talked about it like in passing in past years, right? But we gotta talk about this, bro. And I haven't talked about it, with anyone basically
I
other
know.
than my wife, right?
Sure.
So I just want to get your impressions. It's like, what the heck, bro?
I thought it was staged at first. First of all, I don't like. I think you and I are probably in the same boat. We both didn't watch this live, right?
I did.
You actually did watch it
I
live.
was
Okay.
watching it live.
See,
So check it out, right?
okay. Yeah.
I was on my iPad. I was watching something, right? Again,
Okay.
with like me dash cam video, whatever I was watching on YouTube at that time on my iPad, right? And I see the stuff, the Will Smith muted and Chris Rock freezing, right? And I was like, what the heck? So I just jump on my wife stepped out for a second because she was watching it too. I jump on Twitter. I was like, well, what the heck happened? And everyone's like, what the heck, bro? And I was like, I don't know what happened. So my wife comes in. It's like, yo, something happened. And Will Smith was yelling and Chris Rock was like frozen. I don't know what happened, dude. So we went back, right? We rewind it and we watched it. I was like, whoa. What the heck? I watched it live, dude. It was nuts. It's nuts.
Oh man.
So
Yeah. So here's the funny thing about me. For the last, I don't know, maybe 5, 6 years, I've watched it live. To be honest with you, this last year was the first time I just had zero interest in watching.
mm.
It was slightly out of protest for No Way Home not being nominated for one single thing,
but
which is
the Flash though.
okay.
Bro.
I'll get to that. I'll get to that. Yeah. Yeah.
I guess you win
We'll
some,
get
you
to that
lose
in a
some.
second. We'll get to that in a second here. Okay. But so I didn't watch it live, right? I'm over here. I'm just I'm like you're watching live. I'm not watching, right? So then someone else tells me, "Hey, just so you know, this thing just happened." I'm like, "What? Like what?" And then I go, so I'm like, "No way!" So I watched the clip, and my gut instinct was, "Oh, this is staged,"
Mm.
because I didn't see the reaction. I only watched a very short one of those short clips people on social media of just him walking up and whack. You know, then you catch what the full clip, right, with one, what Rock said, Will Smith walking up doing this thing, right, and then cutting back to him being so heated and just telling the dude off, from his chair. And then I was like, oh snap, this is not fake. This is like
So
legit tense
I,
situation
I
going
thought I
on
thought it
here.
was I thought it was fake until I watched like the one in the Japanese broadcast that
Yeah,
was uncensored. I was
that
like,
was uncensored. Yeah.
whoa.
And you're like, this is not, yeah, exactly. That's when you realize, like, oh, because like
Lupita's face
when you,
though, man.
yeah,
Like it was
Lupita's
like
face in
just
the
like
background.
that's when I saw her, I was like, yo, this is real. Look at her. She's like, woo.
Now, you and I have said before, right? Like the movies that they talk about, generally speaking, I'm not saying all of them, but the movies that they talk about mostly at these shows are not something that appeals to
Yeah, yeah.
us, right?
Hmm.
I understand it. I'm not saying that I haven't watched any of these movies. I'm not saying that they're even bad movies. I'm just saying an appeal factor, right? For me, right? My entertainment. I don't find it as entertaining as others do.
Yeah, yeah.
Totally fair, right? But so like someone like me was assuming, hey, maybe like conspiracy theory, right? Something like this is to bring attention to the show. Like if you were gonna stage something, I mean that's that's pretty unseen. But no, it was not staged, and even after that happening, Obed
Yeah.
still was the second worst rated in the history of the Oscars
Yeah, it's weird.
televised. They are losing relevance, man. This
Yeah.
is it's audience are having other options. People are saying, when you have a movie, for example, like Spider-Man No Way Home, right, that
Yeah.
destroys records, and it can't even get, I don't know,
Best
best
special effects or
best
visual effects. Yeah.
special effects, costumes, some
Technical. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
technical, some editing or whatever. Like you can't get one, and doesn't have to win, just recognize. That's when you start to like be like, okay, these people have lost touch with really movie magic, because that's not just a fan thing, that's a special thing in my opinion that was
Yeah.
done there. But that's a whole nother argument to be had. Now, Obed, I don't know if you want to say anything else about the
Well,
thing, but I was going to
the
then
thing is like
mention.
right, and I when I really like Will Smith a lot, dude. Like I really like the guy. But I also know that Chris Rock is like very humble and down to earth too. Like he's a good dude. Like my thought of it is, it stinks, right, that it happened, because again, I really like Will. I think that out of everyone that I've seen react to this, I think Jim Carrey had it, like he put it the best out of everyone, and I feel like Jim does on this one, bro.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, um, yeah, it sucks, but
Two wrongs don't make a right is what I was
yeah,
told growing up, right?
yeah,
I'm sorry. I know everyone wants to say it's just a joke. It's just a joke. Worst jokes have been told. Da, 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 da. You can say all that.
oh yeah,
I think we're
absolutely,
living.
yeah,
I think like there's clearly like you know there's clearly sometimes people just push the envelope too much, and it's
but it's
done in
not,
poor
yeah,
taste.
it's not
And
even
if
pushing
you,
the envelope, right? Because at the,
yeah,
like this is like something, and I totally understand, and to some extent, right, and not to get too religious with everything, but to some extent, what Will said that Denzel told him,
oh, 100%.
it's right from the point of view that you know when your emotions are running high, you're really prone to make bad decisions, and that's in every walk of life, and whether it's a spiritual thing or not, it's that could be debated, but I think that to some extent what he told Will was on point. It's like you know, emotions are high, right? And he's top of the world moment for him, favorite to win, this and that. His wife has come up publicly saying, about her struggles with alopecia and whatnot, you know, and all things go together, right? Um, it's unfortunate, right? And it sucks. And, I think that there should be some consequences. I don't think he should be stripped of the Oscar because he worked his ass off to get it, right? And that's, not to be recognized or to be recognized for your work and then having it taken away. Um, I think it's a terrible thing, but maybe next year he's not going to be eligible. So that's, yeah. Like I said, Jim Carrey put it best, and
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm just saying, like, I feel like most people instantly like we're like, it's just a joke trying to downplay, the whole thing. And I'm just saying, I've been in situations before, man, where people have done stuff like that, where they got the microphone and they trying to be funny and entertaining, but they're just putting people down
yeah.
in various
It's
circumstances.
yeah,
And it's for the sake, it's like it's a laugh at the sake of someone else's expense. And then not only like was it just that, but it was a very personal thing.
yeah.
I am not justifying physical
Oh
violence. I
no,
want to be
absolutely
clear
not.
about that.
Hmm.
But I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna, you can't just be mad at like who they say like sticks and stones or something. It's like no,
Yeah,
words
yeah,
hurt, dude. Like words hurt. Like people, you don't know what people go through. People do all kinds of stuff because of words people say. You don't go on Twitter writing something and then say, "Oh, it's just a joke." Don't go saying something in a public setting just because it's a joke, right? And don't. And then on us, right? If someone does do something wrong, you know, having the ability to turn the cheek and not do something that you might regret later on. But no, that's just the whole moral. I want to be clear about that. That I'm not endorsing or supporting either kind of things. I'm not gonna. I know some people just it was no big deal for them. For me, I was like, look, I've been there. I see it. Have I done something like no? Because what kind of people we are. But
yeah.
it's just it's a wild situation. But yeah, man, I thought that was staged. I couldn't believe it was real. And they still didn't get the ratings even after that.
Yeah. But how do you feel about storming someone's hotel room, call him names, and insult his wife right there and then get arrested for it?
Oh
I
man.
mean, the Flash wrapped, right? Because as far as I know, that movie is coming out.
So
Right?
so so here's the thing. It's not the Flash. The movie's not the Flash. I'm sorry. You can call it the Flash. You can call
Is
it what you
into
want
the
to call it.
Batverse.
You put Batman in the movie. I've said this multiple times. You put Batman in the show, and it's not like he just has one scene. I'm pretty sure he's gonna have a significant amount of screen time. Excuse me. There's two Batmans that we have
Yeah.
confirmed in the movie. There's gonna be a lot of Batman screen time. I'm sorry, man. It's hard for me to call this a Flash movie. This is like a mini Justice League, even to some extent. You got Supergirl in the movie, and Flash might be the one leading the film. You ever
Hmm.
watch any of those animated Justice League movies? Like I
Yeah.
watched one of the more recent ones. I recommended it was I think it was Justice League World War or World War One. So it was based on World War. Um, and it was like the main premise of it was Flash, right? And going back to like World War One and
Mm.
all this kind of stuff. But like the movie wasn't called Flash; it was called Justice League World. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I
Yeah,
look at
yeah,
this
yeah.
movie, right? Like
Okay,
you
okay,
could you
okay.
could call it what you want, but it's not really a Flash movie. Now, all that out the window, this situation, okay. I told a few people the same thing. Like, dude, they go and they recast everyone in DC, but this is the guy they kept.
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
out
don't
of
know,
all the
bro.
recastings, it's like the two people they kept, and I'm not gonna get into because I'm not gonna. There's allegations and stuff. I understand
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
a
yeah.
legal situation. I don't want to like. I wasn't there, right? But it's bad enough, right? That's it. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Okay, and I have to be fair on this. I don't. I hope he gets help, is what I'll say. But like, with what's going on with him, right? Then the accusations with Amber Heard's, like these are the people you kept, like, what I'm
Oh,
saying? But like,
right, 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 right.
but this,
Yeah. Because
but the people you let go is like, oh no, Henry Cavill, nah, we'll get another guy.
yeah, oh
Sorry.
my gosh.
I'm like,
Ben
what?
Affleck, who needs him,
Ray
right?
Fisher,
Ray Fisher,
it's fine.
no.
He might have gone through stuff. Well, don't bring him back. like this guy, I'm sorry, I gotta say it like it is, man. Like this guy should not be the one. Like it's not a good look. Like you're gonna put him on the cover of this after one. The dude was caught in 4K doing something that was problematic,
I mean,
and
yeah,
then you
because it's
have
not the
this that
first time,
follows
right?
up.
It's we got the
Right.
that thing with the lady at Walmart or whatever, right?
Yeah. Oh, it
That's,
was whatever,
I'm not
like
again and again. We're not saying that he's because we don't know, right? That's the
we don't
thing.
know all the
Yeah, we
details.
don't
We
know have
weren't
the
there for
details. We
everything,
don't. Yeah,
right? I don't want to
yeah,
speculate too far, right? But my point is there's a difference between allegations and then like when someone's straight up like, dude, you're getting put in cuffs, like, and your mugshot's going around saying, hey, this is your star. Here's Flash. Here's a picture of him in prison. Like, I'm sorry, I don't understand Warner Brothers, and this is what I feel like what really affected Ray because he's like, why is it that this company is okay with having these people who have but then someone like me who's like an honest person gets like a bad rap and gets a hit job on him because he says
hmm
something like it doesn't add up, right? So we gotta call it what it is.
yeah. It's
Um,
weird. It's super
it's
weird.
weird,
Whatever's
but
happening, like he would like honestly, if he would have been an actor in the MCU, he would have
yeah.
gotten recast after the Walmart thing.
Or they would have done a straight up PR thing because Disney is very good at keeping their actors in check.
Yeah.
Like if you there's I mean Robert Downey Jr. had a pass, bro. Comes into Disney, clean rap.
hmm
There's a few other actors that they've had. The only one that they recasted was Rhodey. Makes a lot more sense now when you really think about it in hindsight
Yeah. Oh,
again,
yeah.
right? There's financial stuff going on there, same thing. Um, yeah, like it was like you said, it was MCU they recast, but Oped, I feel like maybe this is speculation. Maybe he was partying too hard after that Oscars win for that scene because he was apparently
But
going crazy at that bar.
what was it that same day or was it the day before?
No, it was I
Was that
believe
same
it
night?
was.
Maybe it
I
was
think
this.
it was the same day. I
And
think.
I
I don't quote me on it, guys.
so here's the thing, right? When I saw it happen, and I was like, "Wait, Spider Man didn't win, right?" And then when I saw who won, I was really happy.
Same.
I
Yeah.
was really happy because
Same.
it's like they just like scrub it in the face of WB. It's like, hey, that movie that you made before it really sucks, and then this one, that people actually appreciate it, and it has like actual hype moments that people
That's
enjoy.
fan voted. That's people
Yeah,
voted. That's a
so
democracy.
I'm really happy. Like it's still my number two, my number two favorite superhero movie ever. So I mean, I have nothing bad to say about it.
Yeah,
It's
no, me
yeah,
either.
it was.
I'm the only thing I have to say is why is this the thing that you're moving forward
I
with when you had
know
something so good? Makes no
something
sense,
probably
man.
happened, and who knows, right? I guess we'll
These,
find out in a couple of weeks when more details come out because details are fairly scarce still. There's not a lot out
I'm
there.
just saying about the Snyder cut. I'm saying why didn't they continue with the Snyder verse?
Oh
That's
yeah,
where
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
my
Well,
mind's at.
wasn't
Like,
there someone? I think you sent me a text or a message last week about someone that was supposed to like drop a bomb or something.
yeah, there's been some speculation that something is coming, an announcement's coming. Take it
Yeah,
how you will. It was an actor, like an actual verified actor, that put something out. There's been a few little things here and there. Snyder's been very quiet. So,
yeah,
maybe, right? That not saying anything like that, maybe, especially after winning an Oscar like this, maybe, a light bulb will go off and go, wow, that really was good. People actually like this.
yeah.
Um,
Who would have thought, right?
gee, what a theory,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
guys. Turns out that if you actually make a good movie, people will actually like it. It's
I,
mind blowing.
what a
I
concept.
could
It's
not
incredible.
grasp the concept. Yeah. Anywho, WB. Well, what a bunch of characters. Um, Want to talk about Moon Knight?
Yeah.
All right. So here's the thing, right? Um, I I wasn't hyped for Moon Knight. I was, following along, like most of everyone. I didn't watch it yesterday. I watched it today, so I
Okay.
didn't even watch it yesterday. Because it's not Obi-Wan, right? So I'll watch it when I have a moment, and I'm not gonna go out of my way to watch it. It's not Star Wars where like in the morning I have to come in and watch it because that's the thing. So today I go ahead and watched it. I really enjoyed it. I think that out of all the MCU shows is the most cinematic one, like the more like movie quality one that we've seen so far. Um, and I really like it. I really enjoyed this first episode, dude. Like I wasn't expect like this wasn't high on my list, right? This was like, yeah, I'll watch it, right? Because Oscar Isaac's great, so I'll just watch it. It's awesome. But I'm not gonna go out of my way to it's like, oh, like rabbit fanboy. Now I'm in. now I'm in. So really enjoyed it. Um, I think that overall the show's aesthetic and the crazy loopy thing is like the things happen I can't remember what I did thing. It's pretty good. uh, I yeah man, I'm 100% in. Ethan Hawke was really good too, like as the I guess pseudo villain. I guess there's gonna be another villain too. There's two villains based on what we heard. um and no negatives, honestly. 7 out of 10 according to IGN.com. So yeah, but what do you think, dude?
Yeah, I liked it too. I liked it. I'm not gonna say I really liked it, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I liked it is the way I would put it, right? Like
yeah.
it's a good like 8 out of 10 for me,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, in that, right? Everything you said that you liked about it, I 100% like. I think it looked like a movie. I mean, like
Yeah,
like I was like, am I watching a movie or am I watching a show? Because this is
high
very well
quality.
produced.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just the settings that they're
the
in,
shots. Some of the
the
shots are really
shots.
good, man.
Yeah, oh yeah, the
Yeah,
acting quality. It's vibrant, it's colorful.
yeah,
The like you said, the effects of them even doing the jump cut stuff that they do. I'm like, this looks like better than some of these other things I've seen with bigger budgets. Like
yeah.
this, episode one of Moon Knight looks better than some of the movies I've seen in the movie theater. It looked better than what's the name of that movie
New
that I
Mutants.
watched? Oh well, that's yeah, that's not hard. That's not hard to do. Um, so from that standpoint, amazing. I like how they make Mark a very funny kind of personality, right? I like that a lot.
Yeah, he
That it's a
really.
very Marvel, like in that way,
Yeah,
and it's entertaining, like
he really plays the geek really well, and
yeah,
like it's very charming too. It's like,
yeah.
yeah, I really enjoyed him. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's good.
I thought that the way he does that really good. I like then when you finally get the switch, right? When you get the Steve, sorry, when I was saying Mark, I meant for Steven, right? The
Yeah,
Steven
yeah,
version
yeah,
of him. Excuse me, can we get that?
yeah.
The Steven version of him. I love how they make him goofy and charming and and just kind of just British, funny personality, right? It's entertaining. But then I like we finally get the Mark side at the end,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what an amazing end to the episode. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
that
Like
ending was really good.
so good. Car scene, love that scene. I love
Yeah,
that they're able to take something that we know is very violent and the way they're able to be creative with it is these jumps that it's like you didn't see what happened, but something went down.
yeah,
All of a sudden he has a gun in his hand and he didn't realize, driving backwards all of a sudden, like, it's a creative way of doing it. Then when you do finally get him at the end going ham on this guy, you don't see until it finally turns around and it's just his back, as you get an idea that he's, knocking in the face of this Egyptian beast. So yeah, really good moments, really good scenes. I will say though, for things that were not great about the episode, I think it's nothing against Ethan Hawke. Like he's fine as an actor. He's fine. He's really trying. Generic villain, man. It's just he just feels that they're gonna give you more backstory, obviously, as you get
yeah.
into the
Uh,
show, and I expect it, but it's very just like I felt like trying to be deep a little bit. Well,
cult
it's like
leader, sort of like,
yeah,
yeah,
like he's just bad to be bad. Like and Marvel has had this problem before, where you have talented actors and stuff in these roles, but you just kind of make the villain just this, generic, ooh, sinister.
yeah.
that kind of I can they'll get more backstory as time goes on, but
Yeah,
I
and I
actually
think
think I'd have
we'll see where they go with the villain too, because we don't really know where they're going.
we don't really know where they're going with it, you know. Like I loved how like in WandaVision, like she was kind of the villain, but then Agatha really was the villain. Like I love the kind of like
Yeah.
you were able to go multiple episodes without really know who really is the enemy in the show. Like I love that, right?
Yep.
Creative take. This one kind of took me back to the original Marvel. Again, we'll see where it goes as time goes on. Um, but yeah, I'm not gonna pretend like this was like oh the best Marvel TV series first step. I don't know, man. It was really good. But I think the best is yet to come, right? I think it's just gonna progressively get better, and I'm excited to see it.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited now. Like
Yeah.
I'm in. I'm in because I was lukewarm towards it. And I was like, sure. But it was really good, really good. I really enjoyed it. Joel, real quick, quick update on Gran Turismo 7 because we were talking about it last week. So I did some research on what's going on. Right. Okay. So I guess the biggest problem out of everything, right, and if they have an in-game economy, that's up to them to put prices and do whatever they need to do. A problem I do have, and it's a problem of ethics that I have with the whole problem that Polyphony and Sony have with this game, is that when they sent the reviewers copies, the in-game economy was turned off, so they had no grasp of what the pay to win, pay to play sort of thing was happening. Right? They weren't able to assess it like they did with Battlefront 2. When Battlefront 2 came out, the in-game economy was turned on, and everyone was like, this kind of stinks, right? It's like, and then the reviews start coming out. It's like, oh, you get a 6.5 because the this economy thing's broken, but then you go and remove everything, and then the game gets re-reviewed, like IGN re-reviewed Battlefront with like a higher score after that. So that's the problem with Gran Turismo. It's like they turn it on after reviews came out, so no one knew what was going to happen, bro. My understanding is that there's the microtransaction points, right? Go anywhere from I think $2.50 up to $15 for credits, and there's specific cars that you would have to pay $40 to buy, dude. So you buy a game that's $70, and you gotta pay an additional 40 to get your I don't know Ford GT or whatever. Um, and to add salt to the wound, a few days after the game came out, they found out that people were getting too much credits in game, and they patched it so you get less. It just kept getting worse and worse. So now, like, everything blew up in their face, and I guess they're backtracking some of that now. Um, I would say come back in the next 3 months because that's what happened to Battlefront. Battlefront came out in November. By the end of December, it was a completely different game. So I'd say come back in 2 months, and I guess we can touch on the subject again. We can do a follow up to Gran Turismo 7. But I don't know if you have anything else to add.
Nah, not much. I mean, I agree with you. Let's check back on it. Now, that doesn't mean that when we come back in 3 months, it's going to be better. It's a chance
We
that
don't
it will
know.
be,
Yeah,
right?
we don't know.
Which is time will tell. So I'll be very curious when we keep our eye on it,
Yeah.
what further updates we have.
Yep. So we shall definitely see about that. We got a ton of gaming news. Let's get let's do the good, the bad, and the ugly. Uh, the good, we're gonna get 2 Obi-Wan episodes instead of one on release date. The bad, it's delayed by 2 days. Totally fine. Um, What are your thoughts on why this is happening? Probably effects cleanup. They just need a few more hours of rendering. What do you think?
I'm still trying to be careful what I say about dates. As you remember, last time I went off on a limb and said it was the biggest marketing mistake that they had made was not having this come out on May the 4th, right? That was where it came from. And then it was like, well, correction, the day it's coming out is actually the same anniversary date of when we have A New Hope.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Now 2 days, guys, this game moved up now. But guess what? To make up for it, we give you 2 episodes. 2 days at the end of the day, it really is not that big of a deal,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
It really isn't. Marketing,
Yeah.
guys, I'm just giving you some free marketing advice. Next time you're gonna do something like this,
Better hit that
having
date.
around, like that's a good plan, is what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just some constructive criticism is what I will say there. Because now Obed, I kind of feel a little vindicated about what I said originally, because now night is in neither dates that
Yeah.
are of importance,
Now it's a
even
nothing
if it's
date.
about 2 days.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Yep.
But yeah, I'll leave that alone. 2 days later, being moved. If I had to guess, for whatever reason, again, this is just a guess. Maybe they're thinking they can compete with Stranger Things because it's the same time as the exact same day, to my understanding. Stranger Things 2 comes out, right? And so maybe this is Disney Plus saying we can finally compete with the big boys. We can compete with Netflix, and we can have Obi-Wan drop and take the thunder away from Netflix, because Star Wars fans are going to be tweeting about this. I'm sorry, both things are going to do well. People are going to watch both, obviously. But I think if that's the reason, that's speculation, right? If that is the reason that they're moving, is purely because they want to compete and have it on a Friday and all this end of Wednesday they didn't think, or whatever. Like, I think that's not the right move, Obed. Like, I think if it's purely being moved just because of the calendar date, I don't think that's right. I think you make more sense having it stand on its own day and stand on a day of relevance for Star Wars fans, versus having it come out against a show like Stranger Things that's very established, very relevant, on one of the more popular than Disney Plus is catching up, but Netflix still is the number one streaming provider out there. I don't know, man. It's a very, very strange choice. I think there's also 2 movies I'm trying to remember that's also out on the same date. Let me verify what they are. But what's your take on it, man?
Yeah, no, uh, I didn't think about Stranger Things at all. I What I thought is that they need a couple more days of effects cleanup.
Yeah.
That was just my take on it, because I know that some of the CGI looks a little bit rough on the trailer. So maybe they're just making sure, right? And they maybe they have to re-render something, right? And that rendering, like, we're not talking about a video that you took on your phone and you're putting on the computer and you're rendering for YouTube, right? We're talking about 4K HDR with photorealistic CGI and all that. So it's tough. Maybe that's the only thing I could think of at the time, this morning when I saw the announcement, right? So I really don't have any negatives on it. I was like, oh yeah, we're just gonna give you, gotta delay today's. We're gonna give you a second episode. I was like, okay, to me that's fine. I don't mind at all. So I mean, to me, I don't want to say it's a nothing burger, right? Because it is. There's something happening, but it's this doesn't really tell me anything that I don't feel like I should be afraid of anything that's happening. So
yeah, I agree. It's really not the biggest deal. It's not, but I feel vindicated, is what I will say about what I originally said about dates. Probably too harsh, but still, again, not really that big of a deal. But regardless, missed out on a huge opportunity for Obi-Wan coming out on a day that's so special for Star Wars fans. But May 25th, Obed, is actually Top Gun Maverick.
Oh yeah. Finally got a date.
Yep.
We'll leave it at that. So the ugly, Joe. You get your tickets for Morbius? Yeah.
I was on the record telling you I just did not feel good and I was not going to see this movie in theaters. There's other ways to watch movies at other times.
Okay,
I
so
don't
here's
I
what
don't
gets
know,
me.
man.
Here's what gets me. Academy Award winning actor Jared Leto now is in both DC's worst movie and Marvel's worst movie based on
Yeah.
what we, information that we have. That said, right? I heard some on YouTube, right? They went in with low expectations and they were pleasantly surprised that they were not offended on how bad the movie was, right? What was the movie that you told me to go with tempered expectations and I'll have a good time? I can't
Eternals.
remember. Was it
Eternals.
Eternals?
Probably.
My expectations were low, but they were, yeah, I mean, they were met. I guess they were met.
It was right.
Yeah, I think it was Venom. I think it was Venom. It's like
Okay.
if you go to
Okay.
Yeah, I think you told me it's like if you watch Venom, just not thinking too
I don't
much
know.
about
Venom is
it.
probably better than this. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
Based on
people
the
like Venom.
feedback,
Yeah. People like Venom.
I thought Venom was okay.
I think that I think that a lot of people went into this movie expecting something that it was never what it was. That said, I did went out of my way and watch the end credit thing, and it is so dumb because it doesn't make any sense. It's like now you're telling me that this guy is stuck here. How is that even possible, dude? So I I
So
really don't know where they're going with this crap, but I guess we'll find out in Madame Web or whatever.
if that happens after this, if this bombs as bad as it could, right? Um, there's a possibility, Obed, that some of those things might be pushed back indefinitely, right?
I mean, this movie was supposed to come out 2 years ago.
Yes.
It was like spring of 2020,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah, we were having lunch together, my friend,
yeah,
and we were talking about Morbius, and
yeah.
here we are
Morbius. Yeah,
Two years later.
yeah. We're like, oh, Morbius comes out in May, like 2 weeks before Black Widow or whatever,
Yep.
and yeah. What
Oh
a
man.
what
But
a crazy
but
couple
this
years.
based on everything that's been spoiled about the movie, because the director went on Twitter and started spoiling all the stuff about it right on a feed. I think it was with Cinema Blend, I think it was with. But he started going through and just spoiling the movie and including the post credit scene. And I feel like some of the stuff he was talking about purposely, all the spoilers, was to try to still get people to spend money to see what he was talking about.
Mm.
Right. Like I feel like it was like a last minute desperate plea because they knew the reviews were gonna be so bad. So let's get people talking about moments or things that are in the movie, specifically because of how well Spider-Man No Way Home did. Let's pull in that Spider-Man connections as much as we can talk about it. But it's backfiring. I mean, based on all the reviews, the overtness of trying to create a foundation is what makes the movie have no true formality to it. It's trying so hard to be something that's putting all these things together that it puts nothing together. And that's like one of the worst places to be in, right? Because it sounds to me like people leave with more questions than they have answers
Yeah.
because they're like, this doesn't add up. How is this possible? Why are you doing this? I'm not gonna spoil it because even though it's out there, like there's some people who may or our audience who may want to see it, but you'll know what I'm talking about and you'll know what Obed's talking about when you see those post credits. But it's not good. Now, from everything I've understood, I don't know if you've understood differently, Obed. The director did say a Spider-Man is in this universe. He did not say which Spider-Man. Just because a certain character is in this does not necessarily mean it's that
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man's same universe. I didn't
Yeah.
take it that way. I don't know about you, but that's probably the most part of interest to me because if it's one particular Spider-Man, obviously that I beloved, I love Spider-Man in general, right? But if you pull out the OG Tobey Maguire like you have on the poster behind him with Murderer, and you put something there, well, then of course, sorry, and I gotta, I gotta see what they're doing with this thing. But I know everything we understand is that's not what they do in this movie, but there's maybe connections. My head is just spinning with questions. Do I really care? Not enough to go see it. And I'm a diehard Spider-Man guy, so if this doesn't have my interest, it's not looking good.
Yeah. There's some putting it up there or down there with Fan Stick and
Yeah.
all these other guys, Dark Phoenix and New Mutants.
No
So
boy.
it's yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I wasn't hyped for the movie, right? It's looked interesting, and I was hoping that Sony would do something on their own that would actually be, a hit, because they did okay with Venom, but
Right.
like I don't know what's going on, bro. It's like what's happening. Um, I'm looking at the credits on this movie, and looks like Amy Pascal's not even involved with the production. So
I believe it. No, I believe that.
yeah,
There's well, maybe at some point when I
it's
catch up with
weird.
you offline, I have my theories on some things. I don't want to put
Mm.
conspiracies out on the internet because we're not known for doing fake news, but I have my theories as to
Yeah.
some Amy Pascal stuff.
Oh, interesting. All
Yeah.
right, all right. Well, we gotta catch up then.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's I guess disappointment of the year, if you call it that.
Yeah.
Um, all right, where to start? So we got a few things here. All right, so Breath of the Wild sequel on March 3rd. I said that game is gonna get delayed until spring 2023 and come out with a new console. Ichiuruma comes out yesterday, and I saw the video, an update on Breath of the Wild, and it's like it's getting delayed. I don't even have to click on it. I watched it. It's like spring 2023. It's like there you go. I said it, and I was right on the money, bro. And I put the video out there because I felt good about myself. It was like, so you know what? Uh, okay, a little bit of a humble brag, because you and I, we've been consuming games media for a long time, right? And we've listened to podcasts and we've watched gaming shows, and we got our ear on the ground when it comes to these things, bro. I think that our track record is better than a lot of the gaming podcasts out there, including like the good stuff, like GameScoop and and Giant Bomb. It's I you know what? I think we're doing okay, Joe, when it comes to predicting this sort of thing. So,
It's kind of
uh,
like we know what we're talking about.
kinda right. You would think. Um, but yeah, sequel to Breath of the Wild delayed until 2023, spring 2023, and they are saying that they're taking their additional time in order to make the game's experience something special. I mean, Breath of the Wild is already a special game, but we do get a couple of new scenes here and there. It's gonna be a big game, right? Um, I think that getting this game out of the shadow of Elden Ring and Horizon and God of War is an absolutely great idea. But they gotta be working on that hardware, dude. Like it has to come out with a new hardware. And honestly, for next year, if they do say, "Hey, yeah, we got new hardware coming," I'll probably be on it. I'll probably go out of my way and try to pre-order, because it'll probably be worth it, honestly. So, but yeah, what do you think, dude?
Well, first of all, it just feels very it feels very satisfying when you hear like a past episode and like to the T, bro. Everything you said was just boom, boom, boom. Now, the still understanding that there's not been a formal announcement of that next gen piece of hardware, right? Or upgraded hardware, right? For a Switch has not been, formally announced. That's still conjecture. But come on, man. Like, you don't delay something like this to make the experience better for a piece of technology that's
Yeah,
been around for a few years now, that they've been developing for like it's they know this thing like the back of their hand, right? This is not, no offense, it's not like it's, a gaming PC or like, PS5 or something. Like, the Switch is very standard in its experiences. They leverage the technology very well, regardless. I just feel like this. this does vindicate the arguments that they're working on something because they know what the next set of hardware is gonna be,
Yeah.
and they want to give this a push, which it would sell, right? Like if you have a new piece of hardware, and you say experience this game that is award winning, highly recognized, beloved by the fans franchise, and put it together at launch. Oh my goodness, like perfect storm. I think Nintendo knows what they're doing, man. So yeah, it does not seem to be a concern of mine. I think we're in good hands. Of course, there are people who wish they could have had it this year. There's a lot, guys and girls. There's a lot of great games coming out this year.
Yeah.
It'll be okay. I think it will all be worth it in the end.
Yeah. A game delayed could be eventually good. A game rushed could be bad forever. Something like that
So, are you
was
saying, Obed,
was
that the
uttered.
Suicide Squad is going to be a good game? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Potentially. I got hey, you know what? Rocksteady is a premier developer. I'm not saying that the game's gonna be I never said that the game's gonna be bad. It's just
That is true. No,
I'm just
that's true.
saying
I'm
that the
just
game
busting
just
your
doesn't
chops.
talk to me. Yeah. 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 I was like the game doesn't move my needle. That's the
Yeah.
only thing, right? That's the thing. But yeah, well, we'll see. It's Zelda's their release console thing now. Like every time they announce a new Zelda, it's like, oh, you gotta be on the lookout for a new console. And I think it's funny because I did play. I was thinking, I was like, I haven't played a Zelda in a long time. It's like I'm lying because I played Skyward Sword, and you know how I felt about it.
Oh yeah.
So
Did that come out with the Nintendo with the when did that come out?
that came out summer last year.
Okay,
So
and when did the
OLED,
updated OLED?
the OLED came out with Metroid,
Okay, because
with
I was like,
Metroid
I was
Dread.
just curious when you made that statement. I was like, did by any chance that come out around the
Uh,
same time?
yeah, well, the wasn't the light. I think the light came out when Hyrule Warriors
Okay,
came out.
there's
Maybe
something
around
to
the
it.
same time. No, you know what? I'm lying. Hyrule Warriors came out in 2020, and I think Switch Lite came
Oh,
out
okay.
2019. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's yeah. I mean, Zelda's their big like system selling franchise. So they're got that every time there's a new Zelda announced, you know that more than likely you'll get a Nintendo,
Yeah.
a new model thing. So very interesting. I'm happy that I was right on the money, like I've been with many other predictions. Um, and yeah, well, I guess we'll update you guys whenever we get more info on that. But Joe, PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Plus Plus and PlayStation Plus 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 was announced this week. We heard rumors last week that this was going to be a big, there's going to be a big announcement about this this week. And yeah, info's out. That said, right, and I've been looking at this and I've been looking at the offerings from Game Pass, right? And I'm not going to throw any dirt on the Game Pass. I think that they have a great service. But I've seen some of the reaction has been really clickbaity. I was like, this is awful. This is terrible. This is just a joke from PlayStation. This is totally like this is totally like a competitor to Game Pass, dude. What are you talking about? This is pretty good actually. So if you want things to stay the same, they will stay the same, and you can keep carrying on, sir. Right? Standard PlayStation Plus, $60 a year or $10 a month. Don't do that. Buy the year, please. Um, and you would still get your 2 games per month with discounts, online access, cloud storage, right? So you get everything you get now. PlayStation Plus Extra, you get same benefits as the regular PlayStation Plus, plus you get a catalog of up to 400 PS4 and PS5 games. This list, based on the information that's out there, it's curated. You're not gonna have, you know, Fast and the Furious. Oh, you see how Fast and the Furious games is getting delisted? The last one that came out.
Oh my gosh, I forgot they
So,
even had a recent one.
so you're not gonna get, filler. at least on what they're saying, right? Whether I don't know what constitutes filler for them, right? But you know, we can digress on that. Um, it's 400. It's good. 400 is good. That's more games than Game Pass, dude. I think Game Pass is around 300 right now. I saw some people say up to 450, but I don't. Based on the Xbox info on the site, says over 100. They don't have a specific number on it. This is the plan that I would consider getting, the mid tier. That would I would consider getting it if I didn't have a backlog, and games that I'm looking for are maybe a little bit more specific than games that are going to be potentially offered with this. That said, $15 a month or $100 a year by the year. Don't matter why pay the month, right? Um, and PlayStation Plus Premium. Now here, this is where things get interesting and disappointing. So you get an additional 340 games added to that list. That includes PlayStation 3 games, PlayStation 1 games, PS2 games, and PSP games. Cloud streaming would be used for PS3 games, some PS2 and PSP games. And I think you get one more thing. Oh yeah, you get limited time game trials. So demos basically. This one is $17.99 a month or $120 a year. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this one though. But overall, what are your feelings on it?
Well, it caught me by surprise. I know we mentioned before about, you know, it's inevitable that Sony's coming up with some type of competitive piece to Game Pass. It's just something they have to do. It doesn't feel to me like a direct competitor to Game Pass because the offerings are just a little bit different.
Yeah,
And
they
that's
are.
just
Yeah.
because of the way their hardware is set up and their system set up. But that's fine. It's good. I think it's good for what it's supposed to be. And when I say that, whenever you're going to change a business model, like, and you're going to offer some new type of tiers, the best thing you can do is at least leave some sense of you can stay the same if you want to. They
And
directly
that's
did
good.
that with this.
And that's
It
good. Yeah.
wasn't a it wasn't even like a small change. Like, no, it's like you can have the exact same thing. So anyone who says this is bad, I don't know where you're coming from because it's like you could just keep doing the same thing and act completely like ignorant to the fact that there's two other tiers and act like that doesn't even exist and keep going about your life because there's no change really to that, right? The change is that they've given you additional offerings. They move up. They don't have anything that moves you down. I would have liked that personally, Obed, if they
Okay.
would have had an option that maybe moved down below this. Because when we all moved from PS3 to PS4, right? You had to move from that free to the paid, right? And
Yep.
that's okay. It makes sense because I mean, like that's what they're doing with hosting their services and what you get out of it. Like totally makes sense. But I still would have liked something that kind of met you a little bit in the middle.
Okay.
That's just me,
Okay.
you know. Now when it comes to the tiers moving up, the extra and then the premium, um, interesting that they both are like when you look at the yearly. I'm not really looking at the monthly, just looking at the yearly cost for the two of those and for what you get for $20 more. It's not a bad deal. Like for me, that appeals to me. Now, obviously, it's not like a drastic difference of what you get between the two, right? Because yes, you do get those extra PS2, PSP, PS3 games, which is cool, but how much are you really going to be using those and whatnot? That's another whole question to be had. Where you with the extra tier moving up, it's just like, wow, you're getting blockbuster titles essentially access
Mm-hmm.
to That, I mean, for $100, you can't even for $100 you couldn't buy all those games that you
No,
wanted to.
bro.
So it's an opportunity for little Billy to spend $100 and he can get a whole bunch of games access to and quality games.
So I'm gonna. I think it was Kotaku that had an article. I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get. I'm gonna ruffle some feathers here. Hold on.
Uh,
Yeah.
do you agree with me though, like about potentially having a version down? Like I'm not mad about it, but it's something
So
I would have liked to have seen.
I think that because I got carried over. I already had PS Plus moving from PS3 to PS4. Like it didn't. I didn't see any change at that time, right? And the only thing I bought PS Plus was I got PS Plus when I got the Vita. When I got my
Okay.
Vita, and because the Vita games that they were putting out each month were like, bro, like
Oh yeah.
I have dozens and dozens of awesome Vita games, dude, that I got from PS Plus. So,
Mm.
and I got moved over to on PS4, and I was like, you know what, just keep doing it. So, oh man, I can't find the article, but it was an article on a gaming website saying why are companies like paywalling like retro gaming? Okay, First of all, and I've joked about it on the show, right? Emulation as a tool, right? If you emulate a game, to for you to be able to emulate a game legally, you have to own a copy of the game. That's I mean, you don't have to, right? But you have to understand that there's laws behind all these things and copyright, and that's why Nintendo sued, like, the what was it, uh, Rum Beach or whatever the website was, and they sued the guy for like $30 million. It's like, where am I gonna get $30 million? It's like, what the heck? It's like mom and pop thing here going on. So we got to look at that, right? Putting emulation aside, bro, have you looked at prices for retro games?
Yeah.
Like, they're getting increasingly difficult to find, increasingly expensive. Like all these games, dude, it's like the Nintendo thing, right? Because I always joke about the Nintendo Online not being great, but like Castlevania and Musha for Genesis, each of those games are like $500 right now. Of course, it's gonna be like a complete in box thing, but yeah, just out of curiosity, let me go to on eBay, right? And people go, and I always hate it. It's like people say, it's like, well, you can find this thing cheaper somewhere else. I was like, where? Mom and pop shops are getting, are pricing according to eBay. What are you gonna find, a garage sale? What are the odds, right? That's like one in a million almost. But if I look at Musha for Genesis right now, and I'm looking at Musha the US version. So the
Mm.
Japanese version right now, you can get complete in box for $278, and the Genesis version on eBay is looks like not even available on the US. $689 for Musha in box.
It's ridiculous.
And then Castlevania for Genesis is $127. $70 if you buy cartridge only. $90. 100. You get my point, right?
Yeah.
So
This is actually
it's, bro.
they're
It,
doing you a favor.
honestly.
Yeah.
So at this point, right? If you're still interested in playing retro games legally,
Right.
and you don't own the games, you gotta subscribe to some sort of service that offers them, right? And again, emulation's a thing. If you want to keep doing it on your own, I don't care. I'm not invested in any of this, so do you at your own risk. But at the end of the day, now that said, dude, like when it comes to other stuff like arcade games, because like I don't know. I want to play Bionic Commando, the arcade version, which is probably not available on. Oh, you know what? I think that's on the Capcom collection on the Switch. Uh, but if you want to look at some arcade game that never came out on anything, right? And you're not going to buy a $6,000 arcade cabinet, and and Taito is not making cabinets anymore. That's a different story. But if the game is somewhere offered somehow, then I don't know. Then it becomes gray. I've always been, and I've always had ROMs, right? Since the '90s. Like I'm not a new ROM guy. I've always had ROMs since the '90s, and I rarely even use them because it's like when people arguing is like, oh man, it's like they should just let us play PS3 games on PS5. It's like, why? Why? Have you played Horizon, dude? It's like, why would you? I used to think like that, dude, until I realized how much the PS3 just stinks compared to the PS4. And then the same thing, right? Like I still use my PS4.
Oh,
But
but you're not gonna get those Sony checks anymore,
I'm not,
man.
that's not the thing. No, no, that's not what I'm trying to say, right?
I know I'm
So,
roasting you. I know
so,
you don't get the checks.
so what I'm, so what I'm trying to say is, how often do you buy a new console? How many times have you played PS4 since you got your PS5?
Maybe like 5 times, dude.
My point exactly.
Yeah.
My point exactly. I played PS4 because I come here with my daughter and we play in this room. And the PS5 is in the living room.
PS4 is great.
It's great, yeah. But given the option,
Yeah.
PS3 on the other hand, it's like why would I go back, right? Now there's some PS2 games that I still would like to go back and revisit. That was that I have like 3 days ago. I was like, oh man, it's like I really want to play DMC3, and there you go. You got a controller.
I have the
PS3.
actual console behind, just my chair's too big, but I actually
Oh,
have
the
it
PS3.
behind me. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I see. I
See
see
a
it.
piece of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I got mine. Mine's plugged in. I got it here.
Yeah,
man.
mine's ready to go, man.
Yeah. So that's the thing, right? I don't go back. I don't go back. Like, yeah, again, but again, I'm telling you, it's like the other 3 days ago. I was like, I want to play DMC3, but my PS2 is broken. Oh, I mean, DMC3 is available on everything right now for like $10. I can buy it, and I don't have to deal with non HDMI connectivity to my TV.
Mm.
And why? It's like, why would I go back? And I don't. It's just it gets me. But that said, that's why that mid tier is really appealing to me. Because if you're gonna give me contemporary games, PS5, PS4, PS5 games, yeah, man, that's a pretty good deal. I mean, I'll keep doing the 2 games a month as long as you don't give me garbage. I'll be fine with that. We got SpongeBob next month.
And that's my thing. Like when you're talking about those games, those blockbuster games, right? Like SpongeBob included in this stuff. Like, what? Like is that the kind of stuff that we're talking about? Like, I don't know. You played it yet, man? I don't know.
It's a remake.
I'll add it.
It's a remake of the PS2 game. The PS2 game was good.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep. So,
I don't know, man.
it gets me, right? And it's aggravating because, like, people think that you can just willy-nilly go on a ROM site and download stuff, which you can, right? When you're going to play on a PC, you got to deal with an emulator, you got to deal with BIOS, and you got to deal with controller mappings. You got to deal with a bunch of stuff. And, at the end of the day, simplicity and just being able to do stuff like on the fly and not having, again, it was like, I have decent PC where I can buy everything that I buy on PS5 on my PC. I don't care. I don't want to deal with settings. I don't want to see overlays with frame rate and looking at temperatures, and I don't care. I want to just play, dude. I want to sit down. I want to play. I don't want to. I don't want to think that oh, my graphics card's getting too hot. I don't want. I don't. I don't want to deal with that. I just want to grab my controller, sit down, and play. I don't want to. I don't want to deal with like shaders and anti-aliasing settings and no, man. So that's why. Yeah, again, that's why that mid tier for me. That's to me that's the one to get, right. But if you've never experienced PS1 games, go ahead and spend the $20 and you'll see how far we've come.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's
Oh
like
yeah.
this.
No, you're not wrong.
Yeah, I mean, whew. It's like even if you ask me right now, it's like, hey, do a playthrough of MGS1? Oh, can I play something else? I love MGS1. It's great. I love MGS1, but can I play MGS5 instead? You know, even four, dude. Even MGS4 right now. You ask me to play MGS4, it's like, bro, are you serious? Can
Wow.
I do that? Unfortunately, there's no way to play three right now, except for like PS2 and PS3, if you have the HD collection. So I guess I have to deal with that. I haven't played that game in 8 years, so and it's my favorite game of all time. So
Oh my gosh. It
that's
will remain a memory, my
bro. That's
friend.
how much I don't want to deal with old consoles. It's like it's my favorite game of all time. It's trapped on the PS3. That's unfortunate, you know.
Oh my gosh.
I guess I gotta just keep playing Horizon. So you know, we gotta move forward. We can't stay stuck in the past. That's I look at the past with great yearning, but you gotta move on. Except for music, though, you can't go wrong with like that. The '90s was like hands down the best decade for music. That said, um, interesting stuff from PlayStation. They're being very competitive. Again, I've seen some really clickbaity headlines about how much this thing's awful, and it's not. It's cheaper than Game Pass. Game Pass itself, it's for the cheapest tier, it's $100. It's $120 a year, and
That's the most expensive here.
and this is the most. Well, that's yeah, it's still cheaper. Yeah, you
The
pay
most
you.
expensive here is 120.
Yeah,
Their least expensive is 120.
exactly. So, well, they're being competitive.
Yeah.
So there's that. Um, Joe, and just to close out, real quick before we go into the huge bummer, Capcom is raising base employee salaries in Japan 30%. Big raise. Good job, Capcom. Um, don't mess up Street Fighter 6. I want to have that comeback. So please don't mess it up. But yeah, very good news, especially coming out from Japan, where races are like like they don't have they have this culture. It's like you get stuck in a job and that's the thing you do and you make the same money forever. So that's great. That's
And
great. That
30% is huge,
it's
dude.
a big jump,
You give anybody a 30% raise right
bro.
now,
I could have a
man.
30% right now. I'd be balling.
I was like, I mean, that is admirable. That I give them credit because that's a lot of money, man.
It's a lot of money. So
That's
yeah,
life-changing money.
great job, Capcom. It seems like the problematic, I guess, people at Capcom have all gone, and they've been doing really well for the last 5 years. So I'm really happy.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
all right, is E3 dead, Joe? Like for real, since this time?
I don't know, man. Like, why is it completely canceled this year? Is it because they're still trying to pull the World Health Crisis card, or like it was too last minute, or is there something more sinister going on?
I don't think it's sinister. I think the ESA is trying to figure it out. I think with everything that happened, right? and how Sony is not there. Nintendo is still there, kind of. Companies are just moving out of their space to present and do their own showings. I think they're going back to square one and trying to figure out how to go moving forward. The IGN actually reached out and they received communication from the ESA, and they're saying that they will return in 2023 with a reinvigorated showcase. So I think that they just went back to the drawing board, and they're trying to figure it out after not having an event the last 2 years. So
See, but that's my issue, man. Is like if it's if it's been that long, right? And they haven't really made any money from these events for that. I mean, that's got to be a huge hit to their business. So then, just out of choice to say, no, we're not going to do it again because we want to freshen this up. Like, I don't know how that's sustainable. It's different business structures, but like with Comic Con, for an example,
yeah,
they had to do Comic Con special edition, which was not anything like what the regular stuff is, just to get some money, some revenue, so they can keep the show going at the way that they've always wanted to do it. Like, I don't know how the ESA, like how they're gonna be able to say, we can go another year and come back and have enough cash to give this new thing. I hope that they have enough in the reserves to keep them through, but it is concerning, man. Like, I would not be so confident that 2023 they're back in full force. Like, there was a chance that they just
yeah.
look all this stuff over and just like,
I think
it's
a
been a
better
good run.
I think a better question would be, what has the ESA been doing for the last 2 years?
Yeah, I don't know,
It's like-
dude.
it's
Like,
like, what?
why they had all that time to consider stuff, and then all of a sudden it's like
You had to figure it out. It's like
it's
once we
not a
come
good look.
back, yeah, it's like given the opportunity when to come back, how are we going to approach this, right? I don't I don't know. I mean, ever since like Sony announced that they were not gonna come back, um, there's been rumblings that it's not gonna happen. It may happen. We don't know, right? This used to be a trade show, and it became something different, and then fans got in, and it's just weird, right? It's one of those things that unfortunately I've always wanted to go to E3. I guess I won't have that opportunity now. Who knows? Next year, if they come back with some sort of
I
showcase,
know.
and studios are back in and doing their thing,
That's
maybe.
always
But
that's been a dream. We've talked about
yeah,
it from
yeah, yeah,
before we launched this podcast. We
yeah,
talked about, hey, us going as no load time to this convention and doing this as a thing. Like,
yeah.
it's historic, man. Like, this means a lot in the gaming space. Like, this is a not a small event, and we always reference E3 when it comes to announcements. So we're like, oh, maybe by E3 is when this console will be announced.
Yeah.
Oh, by E3 is when we'll get a new look at this game. It was that kind of a thing. You always reference E3 with announcements, and this is weird, dude. Like, what's gonna
Yeah.
happen?
No, that said, IGN said that they will do a Summer of Gaming showcase, and they're gonna bring people in for interviews, and they're gonna do like kind of like what they do for their E3 coverage. And I'm sure that we'll see uh, PlayStation do something around that time, Nintendo with a direct, and Xbox is going to announce something. I mean, because we have to see something from Starfield, right? We haven't seen the game comes out in November, and we haven't seen like anything on it as far as
Wow,
I know, right? It's like,
wow.
is there other than a concept? Is there gameplay?
I don't remember
Let's see,
fact checking.
Starfield gameplay. Oh, there is a game. There is a gameplay trailer from 4 months ago. No, dude, that looks like their announcement trailer.
Ouch.
Okay. Oh no, they do have a 2022 trailer. No, this looks like Skyrim. Hmm. I don't know, bro. Hey, Joe. If I would be a betting man, right, and I would listen to No Load Time,
Predictions.
I would say Starfield is going to be summer 2023. So it's between you and I and whoever's listening. I don't know. Just a thought. But yeah, E3, man. It's unfortunate. Um, we'll see. We'll see. And I'm really interested to see what Microsoft's gonna bring out because they've been doing pretty good, and they have a
Hmm.
compelling product. Um,
And they bought a bunch of stuff.
yeah, exactly. They bought everything. So
Yeah.
I want to see what they bring out this year. And there's still rumors that there's Sony stuff coming out like towards the end of the year, like that supposed like Metal Gear remake that no one's seen, but it's supposed to be in the making. I guess a remake of Metal Gear Solid 3. That's supposed to based on rumors and stuff that's out there. It's supposed to come out like the end of the year. So
Hmm.
that would be huge. Switch on the other hand, we'll see what comes out. I'm still predicting we'll see a new Mario of sorts, other than the Strikers. So we'll see when it comes to that. And yeah, just God of War. They're still saying that it's coming out this year, but we already got gameplay of that. See, that makes me feel better. And that more than likely will come out towards the end of the year as well. So we shall see. Joe, that's what we got. I think we're doing pretty good. Put your money on Starfield summer 2023. But in the meantime, sir, where can people find us?
Absolutely. Thank you all so much for listening. We invite you to stay connected with us. Go ahead and subscribe to our show on podcast platforms of your choice. We're on Apple Music, Amazon, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spotify. Find us on your platform of choice. Follow us, subscribe to us. Also, you can subscribe to the video version of our show on our YouTube channel. Go ahead and find us on YouTube, no load time, subscribe, like our videos, drop us a comment, share these episodes with your friends and family. We'd really appreciate it. Also, we invite you to follow us on social media at no load time. All directly below us. If you're watching the video version, you'll see all of our social handles. You can follow us at no load time, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We also have our episodes being broadcast on our Twitch account. So go ahead and follow us, No Load Time Altogether, on Twitch, and you can see all of our episodes. Again, share us with your friends and family. We'd really appreciate it. Last but not least, if you have any questions, comments, feedback, opportunities you want to discuss, we'd love to hear from you. Send an email to noloadtime@gmail.com. That's noloadtime@gmail.com. Thank you all so much again, and we look forward to being with you on our next episode.
Thank you guys. Stay safe. We'll see you again next time.